I learned that a house can feel so different when it loses its anchor. It felt like the walls were leaning in closer, and the air was getting heavier. Even the silence felt alive, pressing against me. That's how it felt after my father passed away. The house no longer felt like a home. It felt like a museum. Every picture frame and every coat still hanging on the rack was a painful reminder of what I had lost. I buried him 3 days ago. As I stood by his grave, trying to hold myself together, I saw her. Her, the ghost of my childhood. My mother. She was standing 10 feet away, dressed in black, with 3 children I had never met clinging to her side. They looked at me as if they knew me, but I didn't know them, and I didn't know her anymore either. The strangest part was that I didn't feel rage at first. I felt confusion, almost like I was that 6-year-old girl again, waiting at the window and wondering if she would ever come back. That's when she left me, at 6 years old. I can still see it. My father had just left on a business trip. His suitcase barely fit in the trunk. My mother waited until the sound of his car faded down the street before she started packing hers. Just 2 suitcases. She didn't take much. She didn't even look at me. I asked, "Where are you going?" She said, "Mom has to go away for a while. Dad will be back soon." But she didn't wait for him. She didn't wait for anyone. That night, I sat in the living room with the TV flickering on mute. I ate cereal from the box because I didn't know how to cook. I wore the same clothes the next day and was alone for the next 2 days. At 6 years old, when my father finally came home, I ran to him so hard I nearly knocked him over. He dropped his bags, scooped me up, and then saw the note she had left on the counter. I will never forget the way his face changed when he read it. He crumpled it in his fist and whispered through his teeth, "She's done." In a way, she was. We didn't talk about her. We didn't wait for her. We just moved forward. It was just me, my father, and later my grandmother helping when she could. But now, here she was, 21 years later, standing at my father's grave in Portland. When people asked who she was, she had the nerve to say, "I'm his wife." Wife? No. She gave up that title the day she walked out. Still, I didn't say anything at the funeral. I couldn't. It felt like the ground was shifting under me. A few days later, she showed up at my apartment. Same face, but older eyes. She sat on my couch like she belonged there, as if time hadn't passed. And she said, "You have money now. You should share it with your family." Her family, not mine. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because her nerve was so unreal. It was laughable. She tried to make me feel guilty. She said I didn't need all that money. She said I was alone. She said nobody cared about me. And then she sued me, dragging me into court like I owed her something. I remember sitting across from her at that polished wooden table, my hands gripping the edge so tight my knuckles turned white. Her lawyer stood up, painting her as a poor, abandoned wife, a victim. All I could think was, where was this version of her when I was eating stale cereal at 6 years old? But the judge was not fooled. He leaned forward and asked her one question. Why now? Why did you wait until after your husband's passing? When your son inherited his estate, to come forward? Silence. Her mouth opened and then closed. She looked at me, then at her new husband sitting behind her, then back at the judge. Then she broke. She stood up in the middle of the courtroom and shouted, "He doesn't need that money. He's alone. Nobody cares about him." The words hurt deeper than I wanted to admit because, for a split second, I believed her. I thought about all the nights I sat in that house with only silence to tuck me in, all the birthdays without her, all the times I wanted a mother's voice but only heard echoes. Then another memory surfaced. My father's hands, rough and calloused, gripping mine as we crossed the street. My grandmother's voice, soft and steady, reading me bedtime stories so I wouldn't feel the hole my mom left. The pride in my dad's eyes the day I signed my first contract. The way he hugged me like I had carried both of us over the finish line. I was not alone. I was never alone. Her leaving did not break me. It forged me. The judge dismissed her case and called her what she was. For the first time in 21 years, I looked at her without fear, without longing, without hatred, just clarity. She did not raise me. She did not make me who I am. I did that with my father, with my grandmother, with every scar and every silence. Walking out of that courtroom, I realized something I wish my 6-year-old self could have known. Sometimes the greatest gift a parent can give is the chance to prove you never needed them in the first place. So if she is watching this, I want her to know I don't need her. I never did and I never will.